Look, I love Merab. He's a great personality. I do think he's a bit of a clout chaser, though, Timmy, because that's what
Yeah.
I've been hearing a lot of this weekend is that Merab is a clout chaser. I never thought in a million years I would hear people say that Merab Dvalishvili is a clout chaser.
What do you hear? What do you say? This is how to fuck up your parlay. I'm Timmy Shoes with Inside Fighting, and I'm joined once again by the illustrious Jesse Rowe, our editor-in-chief at Inside Fighting. Jesse, we've got some fights going on this weekend. We've got the UFC Fight Night event, and we've got some Bellator too. So how you doing?
Timmy Shoes, I'm doing great. Happy to be here 3 days after your 23rd birthday. Very happy to be here. And yeah, I'm excited. And this is not in any way a shot at their opponents, but I think this is the weekend of the Nurmagomedovs. The Nurmagomedovs are finally going to get the respect they deserve this weekend, Timmy, as if they hadn't
We've
gotten it
got
already. But yeah,
we've
it should
got
be
a
fun. Good
pair of
fights.
Nurmagomedovs.
Yeah,
It's Nurmagomedov squared this weekend across promotions too.
right.
All right, so let's jump right into it. Petr Yan is fighting Merab Dvalishvili. That is the main event. Petr Yan is a minus 260. Merab is a plus 220. What do you make of that fight?
I think Merab. Look, I love Merab. He's a great personality. I do think he's a bit of a clout chaser, though, Timmy, because that's what I've been hearing a lot of this weekend is that Merab is a clout chaser. I never thought in a million years I would hear people say that Merab Dvalishvili is a clout chaser. I don't know if you heard that, but that's what people have been saying about him because he cornered Petr Yan at the UFC PI. He tried to get him to do an in-person interview for
I
his
saw
YouTube.
that.
I don't know if it was for Aljamain Sterling's YouTube channel. I have no idea what it was for, but he tried to get him to do a little let's talk, a little
Yeah.
a little seminar in the UFC PI. Look, Merab is coming off a win against Jose Aldo, I apologize. And Yan is coming off of some tough decisions and situations in the past few fights where 3 fights ago he was beating Aljamain Sterling for the Bantamweight Championship, knees him in the head while Aljamain was on the ground, cost him a championship. Then he loses a tough decision where a lot of people feel like he won that fight. And then he beats Sean O'Malley in some people's eyes, ends up losing that fight by decision. Petr Yan is very, very dangerous right now. And I as much as I want Merab, as much as I want to believe that Merab can win, I'm having trouble finding ways that he can win. This fight has decision written all over it because both of these guys have gone to decisions in most of their fights recently. Yan by decision, that's my pick.
Nice. Yeah, I like Petr Yan in this fight too. I think he has more ways to win. I think he's a better striker. He's got great takedown defense. He's an excellent wrestler and grappler in his own right. We know what Merab's going to do. He's going to try to wrestle. He's going to try to control Yan, and I just don't see him being able to, overwhelm Yan the way he needs to get that decision. So I like Yan by decision too. That's a great pick. So we've got a pick'em fight. We've got Alexanders, a couple of Alexanders, Volkov and Romanov. Volkov is a plus 130. Romanov is a minus 150. I don't think there's much to say. I think you could flip a coin and pick this fight. So what do you make of this one, Jesse?
Yeah, this is the Jesse Rowe Classic here because I'm literally at a loss for words because both of these men's names end with OV, and you all know how I feel about names like Volkov and Romanov. I am going to flip a coin. So if I can find one here. All right, I'll just take this target card. So if it lands on this side, it's Volkov. If it lands on this side, it's Romanov. I'm taking Volkov.
Nice, going with the underdog. I like it.
And I don't think it's actually a bad underdog pick. I think Volkov is genuinely
He's
Genuinely a
been
good
at the
pick in this
top.
situation.
Volkov has always sort of been knocking at the door. I don't like to use the word gatekeeper because it's all the
Right.
negative connotations. Romanov did lose in his last fight, but he was on a pretty substantial winning streak before that. So, this is a big test for Romanov. I think both guys are still probably 1 or 2 wins away from a title fight.
Yeah.
Volkov's been at the cusp for so long,
Yeah.
and Romanov, he's probably wants to prove that his last loss was, a bump in the road.
Why do you
It
think
was,
that Romanov is the favorite over Volkov? I guess is my question. Like, what do you think the odds makers are seeing with this?
I think it's a striker versus a grappler, and the odds makers are like, well, let's edge it towards the grappler.
Yeah.
Plus, he's younger. The odds makers like younger fighters usually. Volkov's been at the top for a long time, and he's always sort of, he's been as far as top 5, but he's never really been at the upper echelon of the division. And Romanov is a guy that people still look like he could come into his own and be at the top of that division. So I think that's why they're leaning that way.
To be honest, I was going to pick Volkov before I flipped that target card. I just want that. I just want everybody to be aware of that. That don't invest your money based on the odds of my coin flip, but that I genuinely.
Well, you're going to have
Volkov,
to keep that target card. If Volkov wins, we're going to use that target card for making future picks.
Absolutely.
All right, now we've got Krylov versus Spann, Nikita Krylov versus Ryan Spann. This is the fight that was supposed to be the main event a couple of fight nights ago, and now they are back for this card. They're the third fight. It's a catch weight at 215, so they're not doing middleweight or like it's supposed to be. Light heavyweight like it's supposed to be. What do you make of this fight? Krylov is -170. Spann is a +145.
What weight are they fighting at exactly?
It's catch weight. It's 215. It was supposed to be at 205.
Okay,
but now it's at 215.
So it's in between light heavyweight and heavyweight. I see. Okay, yeah. So I have 2 takes on this. One is that Krylov's last name ends in OV. So that's my first impression of this. He's also Ukrainian, so he's in cahoots with Merab. So there's a unification there between Krylov, who was supposed to be the main event 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, or whatever it was at fight night. However, Ryan Spann at +145, I really do like those odds because Ryan Spann has the genuine knockout power of all knockout powers. The guy has hands made of brick. I'm going to go with Ryan Spann. I think this is going to be one of those fights where Krylov is winning the majority of the fight, and Spann's going to have to pull one out of the fire like in the third round, early third round knockout. I could see a situation like that where Spann doesn't seem like the type of fighter that just goes to a decision. He swings for the fences. He's going for it all, and I don't see him satisfied with getting to a decision. I think he likes to be a showman. I think he likes to have highlight moments for social media and things like that. So I think he'll be swinging for the fences in the late rounds especially if he feels like he's losing. I'll take Spann by knockout, early third round, and I like +145.
+145, I think that's a valuable pick for an underdog. Spann has that knockout power. You summed it up. Krylov, you might grind this out to a decision, but I like Spann by knockout. I think that's a pretty solid pick. Now we've got
you're taking Spann?
I'm taking Spann.
Okay.
I'm taking Spann by knockout as well.
Yeah.
Now we've got the first Nurmagomedov, Saeed Nurmagomedov, who is a -255 favorite. He is fighting Jonathan Martinez at bantamweight. For everyone who wants to make the same mistake that I believe ESPN made, Saeed is not related to Khabib, but he's still got those Nurmagomedov odds. He's still the heavy favorite. What do you make of this fight?
Yeah, I don't like Jonathan Martinez's chances in this. This is one of the few favorites on this card that I'm pretty certain will play out according to the odds. And I will be taking Nurmagomedov, no questions asked.
Okay. For
Anytime that
people,
a
I
an OV versus an easy, I don't like the odds of the easy.
all right, I like it. Now, I want people to know, in case they're not familiar, Saeed is actually more of a striker than a grappler. Um,
Very
and
odd for
Martinez,
an OV to be a grappler, Timmy.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I
People
mean, to be a
people
striker, I
hear
apologize. Yeah.
people hear that and they assume that he's more of the Zabit Magomed Sharapov ilk. I believe he's got a background in
I have
some
no
form
idea
of
what you just said.
kickboxing.
Yeah.
Zabit Magomed Sharapov, he was a former featherweight. He actually left, but he
I'll take
has
your
a
word for
background
it.
in kickboxing or one of those Russian kickboxing things. I think it might be Sanda actually, which is Chinese kickboxing that is Israel Adesanya is also a
Oh,
practitioner
right.
of.
Yeah, of course.
But I like Martinez. I'm going to go with Nurmagomedov just because I think, but I like Martinez's chances, and I think that he is a high value underdog.
Okay, so
But before we
okay.
get into our high
Yeah,
value
right.
underdogs,
Right.
we've got another Nurmagomedov. This one actually is related to Habib, and this one actually does have insane grappling. At Bellator, we've got in the main event their lightweight tournament. Uh, Umar Nurmagomedov versus Benson Henderson, who is a plus 1100 underdog. Umar is a minus 2100 favorite. Jesse, give me your lock.
Yeah. Well, okay. I know that you're trying to encourage me to make this my lock here. I don't know if I can do it, but what I will say is Benson Henderson is by no means a walk in the park. He defeated Frankie Edgar for the lightweight championship at one point in the UFC. However, that was at UFC 144. So that was like 145 UFCs ago, Timmy, or 142 UFCs ago, I should say. 41, whatever it is.
Yep.
Either way, I would sprinkle $10 down on Benson Henderson, and then I would bet $300 on Umar to win. I guess that's why they make the odds that way, so that you can't make money if you do something like that. But what I
Yep.
will say is that it just doesn't seem. This seems like a fight where Umar is destined to win, and I would actually be more interested in betting the odds on when Umar will transition over to the UFC. I want that bet. Give me that bet, and I'll take it.
I think that'll happen at some point.
Yeah.
All right, now going into Timmy's super parlay of the week. It is a 6-leg parlay. We've got a healthy mix of underdogs and favorites. I'm going with Ryan Spann. These are all money line picks, by the way. So you can mix in those interesting fight props if you like, or those high value underdogs if you like. I'm going Ryan Spann, Romanov, Yan Nurmagomedov, Saeed Nurmagomedov, a Sunsao and Lipsky all together. That gives plus 6,500. So if you put down $10, you win 650. What do you think that parlay?
Who was it? It was Spann. It was the Nurmagomedovs.
Ban, Romanov, Yan, Nurmagomedov, a Sunsao, and Lipsky. And you can mix in those interesting fight props. So if you think Lipsky's going to get the finish,
I like it. It's interesting, and it's a plus what? It's a plus 650.
Plus 6,500. You put down 10, you win 650.
Easy. Yeah. $10. Let's go.
All right, guys, you know where to find us. This was How to Fuck Up Your Parlay. I'm Timmy Shoes with Inside Fighting. That's Jesse Rowe with Inside Fighting. You can find us on the socials, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. You know where to find us, InsideFighting.com. Thanks for watching. Peace.